Hi all, welcome back to Shanga's channel. Today we'll cover one of the basic uh, installation of the majorly used tool in the market that is called open source CI/CD tool, Jenkins. And this is what we are going to install on our EC2 instance we provision on AWS. So how we provision instance on AWS we have already covered in our previous videos, and how to open the ports, open the app. We already covered it, but again I'll show you in bits and pieces of the same, and I'll install this Jenkins app and we'll open the page and try to configure the plugins, right? So you can go through this if you would like to understand how what that is, what is Jenkins, and what is the importance these days of Jenkins. So being a cloud engineer or DevOps guy, if you get any requirement to have Jenkins to build, test, and deploy purpose, you can uh, set it up by following the steps that I'm gonna do in the real base scenario. Okay, so I'll close this article and will show you. This is the EC2 instance I provisioned. Nothing special I did. How we create EC2 instance I already covered. You can watch that video. So my instance is up. I'm logged into my instance right here and using putty. This is the Ubuntu instance I am logged into. So now what I'll do is, although I have few commands are written here, but just as a prerequisite, I'll just like to elaborate a bit about this. First of all, it runs on Jenkins runs on the default port as 8080. So you should have the 8080 opened as the default port. Source would be either, if you're working in an enterprise environment, it would either be your VPN or Office IPs, right? With some restrictions on it. And this is, since this is a kind of demo, I just opened it for entire world, right? 0.0.0.0. And like I said, I am already logged in. Let's run the second prerequisite. Or you should have it on your system, that is uh, Java. So let's run these commands one by one. Let's see what it does and how it works. Asking Cherry runtime. I'm just installing for Java, and let's see what's the second command. Second command is, I'm sorry. The second command is this one. Okay, I've opened it up if in case you like to do the same in parallel. I'll just show you how it actually works in when you come in practical and perform these steps. Now I'll install Java Development Kit after that, JDK. Ideally, it should be included in the very first command that we install, but still, just for our you know for our sake, we'll go ahead and do this as well. Yes, and then we'll try to get the key at the key to the repository using this. Already copied it up. Let's see. Now I'll run, like I said, very next command. Okay. Now I'll run this. I'll echo this. Sorry, have you got it? Normally I'll run wrap update till again update the packages and its versions, whatever we have is the available ones. And then last but not the least, to install Jenkins. Let's see, Jenkins. It's asking me if I really should like to install Jenkins. I did yes. Now after install, we'll have to enable it as well. Enable as in like starting the services of Jenkins. So I'll run the next command right after this. I'm sorry. Now I'll run the last command. It says it's running. If you have seen that, let me now maximize this only. Okay. So it says the initial password to login is available in this. So what we'll do, it's running on port 8080 if you have seen it, right? We already opened it up on our EC2 instance. So what we'll do, we'll get the IP of the server and then we'll try to open it on port 8080. Let's see what it says. So here we go. This is the IP. I'm gonna copy this. We'll open it up here and say 8080. Cool. So this is now um, showing the same message that the to unlock Jenkins, you'll have to first retrieve the password, and the password path is right there, like I showed you earlier, and we already have it on the home page. And I'll just say Control C, and then I'll hit. I would say I'll go to root user first, because our instance is in root user. Okay, now I'll do cat path, and this is something I'll copy, right? And if you have observed, this is the same exactly we have it here, but just to our for our surety, I will copy this one. Okay, and now we'll go back here and we'll paste this. We hit continue. Now it's asking me to either go for selective plugins, or you just like to Jenkins to pick it up by default, like the suggested ones. So I think we should if in an enterprise environment, if there is no requirement of having everything installed, you can choose this one as well if you have like selective requirements from the client. But like uh, we should have some suggested plugins already installed in Jenkins. So I'll find this useful for my use case at this point. So I'll click this and let's see what it does. It's now started installing the plugins. I'll pause the video here and I'll be back once we have the username password page. Okay. All right, I'm back. Okay, so this is the page we have got for creating the first admin user. If you want, you can like escape this and continue as admin. Let's see if what it says. Okay, so we have continued to uh, use the administrator that we logged in for our initial password with the help of our initial password. So I'll say save and finish. It is like it says that what you have missed. So we have missed to set up the admin user like we intentionally did. So now in order to log in, we will use the username, this one, and the password we used as the initial password, right? So I'll say admin and the initial password. Let's see, start using Jenkins. So this is the admin. We are already logged in, but if we log out, our username would be admin and the initial password as this one. Let me log in here. So we copied it from here. What the hell? Just a moment. I'm sorry. My bad. So this was the password, if you remember. Let's copy it here. Log out. We'll log in with the help of username admin and then the password as the one we used. Else, what we can do, we can go here. Let's see. This was the user admin, system admin, right? And this is where we have the credentials stored. I'll cover majorly most of the things like setting up an agent, having the master slave connectivity, and then creating a job, creating a pipeline. I mean, we have like here, for an example, new item. So these are the different setup of uh, pipelines. You can always come here and install it, and I'll cover this in my next video. I'll come up with some sample pipeline scripts and we'll try to deploy them or build them using Jenkins. So you will come to know how important or what's the purpose of having Jenkins into your environment. So if it is not Jenkins, it may be TeamCity, and maybe these days Azure DevOps is also one of them. So, but since Jenkins is an open source tool, most of the organizations uh, sometimes prefer this, and because you just need to have EC2 instance and then that's it. You can set up by installing, executing few steps like I showed you. I think that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching.